Okay guys, hello back, and today we will be continuing our Malifaux tutorials. If you haven't seen the first movie, you've got a link over that. There's going to be a quick annotation popping up about right now, so you can go back to the first video where we covered flips and basic attack actions, and today we're going to go a bit further on and we'll talk about walk and charge actions. And again, what we need: 2 decks, 2 miniatures, 2 corresponding cards and quick reference card to help us out when we need it, and of course our measure. So without further ado, let's go on to the walking itself. Okay, so things are quite simple. Right now we're gonna look how a walk action is resolved. So first thing we have to remember, quickly recalling back, we've got 2 action points for each model. So first thing we do, once again, would be an initiative flip. We've got 6 for the Bloodroot and 6 for a Sienna of Black Blood. In this situation, we do a red flip for both. 5 for Bloodroot, 4 for Sienna of Black Blood, which would mean that the Bloodroot has the first turn. So first thing he can do is walk and walk. In this situation, we look at the corresponding card and we look at the walk characteristics. So first one is defense 6, willpower 5, wounds 5, walk 6. This is how many inches a model can move. So we activate the Bloodroot and we move him up to 6 inches, which is his walk value, 6. And again, we have 1 action point remaining. His melee range is only 1, so we cannot do any attacks to the blocked Sienna. So you could walk once again. However, in this situation it wouldn't really help us much because we don't have any action points left. We might take him into melee range and he won't be able to walk off because we will try to keep him in there. However, we cannot attack him. Instead of that, what we can do is charge. So imagining that these 2 models are over here. Right. First thing, if we want to charge, we have to remember that charge costs 2 action points. Therefore, if any of the model wants to charge, unless it has some special abilities, it has to spend all of the action points on the charge itself. So let's say the Bloodroot just moved over here and stayed and is unable to do any more movement actions. So right now it will be the Sienna of Black Blood turn. We activate the Sienna of Black Blood and look at his walk characteristic would be 5. We could walk in here and fight, but then we would walk into the close combat range, spending 1 action point, and second action point we will be able to spend only on a single close combat action attack. But in our case, that's not really what we want. We want to hit him harder. In this case, we will do a charge action. It costs us 2 action points and allows us to move up to charge value in inches. So looking at the Sienna of Black Blood, his charge is 7. He can move up to 7 inches, so in the end he could move even up to here. We have to make sure that it is within range. So let's say he's standing over here just by the corner. He is allowed to charge the Bloodroot up to 7 inches to him. However, in this case, what is the usually best thing to do is also include the range of your melee attack, because that more or less gives you a better estimate of what your actual threat range is. If Sienna of Black Blood has a charge value of 7, he can charge up to 7 inches, and from this point he has 1 inch of threat of melee attack. So in the end he can attack models up to 8 inches from him. So let's do this now. We charge up to, in this case we don't even have to charge that far. We will only charge, whoops, our wall just fell down. Another one. That's not a good shot, but we'll keep going with it. Up to here we've got 1 inch melee range in between them. Now, after resolving a charge, a model is allowed to do 2 1 action point attack actions with a melee characteristic. And melee we'll have the scratch mark next to the action. So let's see what he has. In his arsenal, he's got Sacrificial Blade, which is a melee action because it has the scratch mark, and a shotgun. We charged, so we are unable to use the shotgun. So the only thing we can do is perform 2 attacks, costing a single action point with Sacrificial Blade. So let's have a look. First thing, we already covered what we do. We do our first attack. So with melee 5 against defense of the Bloodroot, we flip. First thing, we flip for him. 2 plus 5 give us a measly 7, which is most likely not to hit him. Bloodroot flips a 9 plus his defense of 6, which gives us a total of 15, so the first attack completely misses. Second attack, 8 plus 5 of melee from the Sacrificial Blade, and in this moment we have a ram. This suit enables us to pull off a trigger called Blood's Favor. After succeeding, heal up to 2 damage on this model or another model within 3 inches. So if the attack hits, and if we succeed to do this, if we actually hit the Bloodroot, after doing that, Sienna of Blackblood will be able to heal himself up to 2 damage or any of the friendly models within 3 inches of him. So as you can see, he's quite a good supportive piece in our army. So we've got total of 13 on Sacrificial Blade attack, and the Bloodroot has the total of 17. Therefore the attack misses, and Sienna of Blackblood failed to do any harm. In a moment we're going to be back and we're going to see what happens when a Bloodroot charges, because he's got quite interesting ability, and I hope we'll be able to revise it very quickly, and you'll be able to revise what charges and how walking works. Okay, so we are back in the mental asylum and they'll be fighting each other, but now let's assume that in this scenario Bloodroot has the first turn because he won the initiative flip. He could walk somewhere, he could do other things, but in this time we want him to attack and we want to charge Sienna of Blackblood to get rid of him, so he cannot shoot us with his shotgun. So first thing we do, we activate the Bloodroot, which I normally, when I activate the model, I flip the card, which might be weird for you, but I think it actually allows you to remember which models you activated, and when you have 10 or more models in your crew, it will make sure that you won't activate the same model twice in one turn. So I flip the card of a Bloodroot when I'm done with it, but for now I'm gonna charge. We look at his statistic, which is charge of 7. So let's see, up to 7 inches, which should make us move in a straight line towards the Sienna over here. Make sure. Now we've got 1 inch range, and luckily we are just barely within the range of the attack. So we make 2 normal attacks with our Bloodroot. However, he's got a very interesting ability called Frenzied Charge, and this model, a Bloodroot, gains positive flips to all attack flips generated due to charge actions. So all of the attacks we do right now on Sienna of Blackblood have a positive flip. We already know what that means. We take 1 more card and take the highest number. So let's have a look at the first one. Of course, 6 is higher, and with our melee of 6 give us total of 12. Sienna of Blackblood is only defense 4, however he flips a 10, giving us total of 14, so the first attack misses. Second attack, nice king, and a 7. Of course, the king, which represents 13, is higher, so we've got 13. The suit in this case does not matter because there are no triggers on the inhuman claws of the Bloodroot. So we've got 13 plus melee 6, which gives us total of 17. So, is my math correct? Sorry, what the hell am I talking about? It gives us a total of 19, which means that Sienna of Blackblood, even if he pulled the red joker, is unable to stop our attack. But depending on what he flips, it will affect our damage. So we've got 19 of inhuman claws against 13 of Sienna of Blackblood, because he's got only defense 4. The difference in this case is 6. And looking at quick reference cards, if the difference is 6 to 10, we have no flips on damage, which means whatever we flipped will go straight to the damage. We flip an ace, which unfortunately is only 1, therefore we deal weak damage. In this case it will deal 2 damage, because his damage is 2 for weak, 3 for moderate and 5 for severe. So unfortunately we only deal 2 damage and nothing much happens. So now we'll be back to show you that's pretty much how walking and charging works, and in a moment we'll be back to show you a few scenarios just to remind when you do not charge. So we'll be back in a second, and I hope you like it so far. In this scenario, Bloodroot is simply unable to charge Sienna of Blood. Why? Because there is no clean line of sight to actually do this. So useless. In this scenario, Bloodroot is just gonna move, maybe drop some markers and do other things related to our mission, our objectives, but at this time, when it comes to killing him, he cannot do it because there is no clean line of sight. Another scenario now. In this case, with our fence over here, Bloodroot is able to charge Sienna of Black Blood. However, in this case it would really depend on you, because you have to establish what piece of terrain what it represents. In this case we normally use it as a hard terrain, therefore being behind it slows you a bit down, and if you want to, if being behind it gives you a soft cover, and going through it slows you down, therefore this 1 inch movement from here to here will actually cost me 2 inches. So let's say if I would be able to charge him, I have line of sight, by all means we can charge, but are we in range? Charge of 7 would put us over here. However, however, this 1 inch movement will cost us 2 inches, therefore we subtract 1, so our charge only becomes 6, which would let us go over here. From this place we are not within a melee range, which simply means we cannot charge, because we have to end our charge movement in engagement range, which is the melee range of our weapon. In this case only 1 inch, so the Bloodroot is unable to charge Sienna of Black Blood. So these two quick scenarios, most common situations, show you how it works with moving, which simply you spend 1 action point to walk up to move the model up to its walk value in inches, or charge, where you use both action points to make a run towards the target and then do 2 simple 1 AP costing attack actions with a melee. So remember, you cannot use your shotgun when you charge into close combat, you have to use your knife in case of Sienna of Black Blood. I hope you liked that episode, and in next episode we're going to cover a bit more rules, and most likely we will cover the hand of the player, which we ignored so far, and other actions that your models can take. So I hope you like this episode, I hope you're going to be back for more, and like always, happy wargaming, and remember, Malifaux is good, so you want to play it. Come back for more, happy wargaming, and take care.